Hello and welcome to a special video. As a classic retro gamer, I love the PSP. This thing is fantastic for retro gaming. There are so many great RPGs and so many great remakes of old school games for it that it just makes it the perfect system, even though I like the DS very much. There are games such as Mega Man Powered Up, which is an extended remake of the first Mega Man game that just shows you when Capcom was putting effort into their Mega Man games that they could put, such amazing effort and make some fantastic games. So with all that said, this video I want to talk about this thing right here. This is an upscaler that allows you to play PSP games on an HD TV. You might be wondering, well, the PSP does that by stock. It automatically does that. It has it built right into the PSP 2000 and 3000 and the Go. They have TV or component video outputs through a component cable, so why would you need something else? Well, the thing is, whenever Sony decided to do this, they decided that PSP games, would probably not look great on a full screen TV, so what they did was they put this little window around the PSP screen and called it a day. So even if you play on a huge flat screen TV, you end up with this tiny image that you really have to zoom in on in order to play your games. And because of that, playing games on a TV is not that great. Also, component cables, because you have to set up the 5 cables just for the PSP, and it's not often that you're going to do that, so it's a big pain. Also, the component cables are fairly short, so even if you get all that set up, you're still sort of limited to, you're tethered to your TV in a very limited way. This thing, in this nondescript box, HD video processing, skirts that issue. This is something from China that is pretty fantastic. If you look at the box, you wouldn't be able to tell this has anything at all to do with the PSP. In fact, it's so awesome that they even give you this box to begin with. I mean, this box has a picture of a desktop PC, an HD TV, and a bunch of people enjoying fish. Yeah. And look at the back of the box. It says, our products, and then it lists everything that's not the PSP converter. Even though that said, this is indeed the PSP converter. And it looks like this right here. Yeah, that's right. It says Video Converter Handheld Game Console to HDMI. This is officially known as the Lenkeng LKV8000. It is an updated model of a previous version that they've produced previously that had component video output. This one does HDMI. And it works fairly simple. It has basically very few ports on it. It has this DC 5-volt input. It comes with this 3-foot cord that's attached to the power cord. And if there's one negative thing about that, I will definitely say it is too short. It's because you have to have this thing tethered right next to the power supply, so that's kind of sucks. But it is just a standard regulated 5-volt power supply, so you can use any other power supply as long as you follow the same regulations, and all the same settings. It has an HDMI output. It even has an audio output, just a standard 3.5mm headphone jack, or you can use that for a stereo system, so you can still enjoy your stereo sound, even if you don't want to use the stereo sound from the HDMI. On the other end, you have this right here, which is weird. This is like a VGA converter thing, which is like, I don't know, it converts it to RGB, I guess? I'm not really sure. And then there's this upscale button. It upscales automatically the 480p video signal from component through this into the converter and turns it into 720p. Now, if you want, you can even turn that up to 1080p. But really, I've seen very little difference between the two of them. The only difference is the 1080p signal seems to take the same signal and add a little bit more filtering to it to make it look a little bit more smooth on an HD TV. But I don't like that. I honestly think that it looks like you're smearing Vaseline all over the screen, so I don't know why you would ever want that. The cord that it connects to the PSP looks like this thing right here. It's like a VGA connection. And on the other hand of the cord, they give you, quite a bit of length of cord here, is this little plug here that plugs into the PSP. Now this will work on the PSP 2000 or 3000. It will not work on the original PSP 1000 because that PSP model does not do video output to a TV. It also will not work with the Go because the Go uses a different proprietary adapter. Now, Lenkeng claims that they make a PSP Go adapter as well, but unfortunately mine did not come with said adapter, so I have no way of testing that. Alright, on the other end is this really cool little feature. It has this little button right here, and I don't know if you're able to read that, but it says zoom on it. You press this button, and what it does is it magically zooms in the screen to exactly the aspect ratio of the PSP games, so you can play your PSP games with a full screen on an HD TV through component, or through HDMI, which is better than component, in 720p or 1080p. This works with every PSP game or application. It doesn't matter. You just have to go into the standard video output to a TV, and it's very easy to do that. So I'm going to be demoing this. So the first thing we do is we plug the adapter into the VGA box thing, like that. Screw the terminals in. Next, let's go and plug in power. The power turns on, you get a bright LED. Plug in the HDMI. By the way, it comes with an HDMI cord, if you don't have one already. And then, next thing you get is, as soon as you plug it in and have it configured to your TV to output, you'll get color bars. That tells you that it's working. So color bars are not that fun to look at, so next let's go to our PSP here. Turn it on. Okay. Let's go to connection settings to a TV. And let's take the cord here, plug it in like this, and switch video output to the TV. Let's go. And here we go. Suddenly we have component video to a TV. How about that? Alright. Now we can go through the PSP menu here. So let's demo a game, right? So here I have Mega Man Powered Up, or I showed you this guys before. This is Mega Man Powered Up. Let's boot it here. I have it saved to my memory card. Here we go. Now, when you boot this, what you normally will get is the standard PSP resolution, which looks like this. This is what will happen if you plug a standard PSP game into through component. Although this is upconverted, this is essentially what you get. Again, this is the entire HD TV screen.
Let's go! Ready? Let's do this!
Mega Man Powered Up!
But now let's press the magic button and see what happens. Button is pressed. And give it a minute. There we go. Full screen. Now, of course, you just use the PSP as the controller. So I'm going to demo this game here. Let's change our character. Play as Mega Man or play as any of the Robot Masters. Let's just play as Roll here because it's fun. let's choose Robot Master to fight. I'll do Cutman.
I'll finish this. Ready?
What's really nice about this is there's no input lag. None whatsoever. Now, as I was saying, there's no input lag whatsoever here, except for that that is caused by an HD TV if your TV has input lag. So, of course, this won't work for every HD TV, but this one in particular, it looks fantastic. It plays just like I'm using a standard controller, and this is, you know, for some console. Colors are bright and vibrant. Refresh rate is perfect. And yeah, there's really nothing bad about this. I am shockingly impressed by how good this is. Considering, especially, it was made by some, you know, Chinese developer that you've never heard of, like Lenkeng. These are kind of pricey. To pick one of these up, you'll spend anywhere from $60 to $80, depending on the vendor. But it's money well spent, especially if you have a large PSP library or a large interest in playing PSP games on an HD TV. This is exceptionally better than playing it in standard mode, which again, I'll just press the button here, and this is again what you'd get from a standard PSP using the component cables. Not unplayable, but definitely not as preferred as, you know, going full screen like this. So, next, let's go down. Epic battle.
Warning! Ms. Roll, what are you doing here? Although Dr. Wily did say you would come.
Stop misbehaving! If you don't, I shall punish you!
Oh, Ms. Roll is really scary. It's like you've gone crazy. But I'm gonna save you. Cutting it up.
Alright, so that's just a quick demo of this. So now let's quit and go back to the main menu here. Now, you'll notice that the entire PSP menu is zoomed in, and that is because, again, it zooms into the aspect ratio of the PSP game. To go back, you simply press the button, and now it goes back to the standard full screen of the PSP. So here, now let's choose a different game, right? I'm going to show you a game that looks spectacular on an HD TV. How about Ys Chronicles. This is yet another remake of Ys Books 1 and 2, which is one of my favorite games from retro gaming past. This version can give the TurboGrafx 16 a run for its money, I'll say that. Let's make it full screen, and let's play Ys 1. Now, to demo this, I'm going to turn this from 720p to 1080p by simply pressing the button on the adapter. Now it is at 1080p. Now in 1080p, let's press the button again and make it full screen. Alright, let's go to options here, change the sound. Yeah, there's 3 audio options here. There's the PC-88 original. There's the 2001 PC and PS2 complete arrangement. And there's the 2011 Chronicles arrangement. Which do you prefer? Let's start a new game, the Chronicles, and show you how good a PSP game can look on an HD TV. The Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack has never sounded so good. let's boot a game here. At any time you want, you can switch the music. And as you can tell, it looks and sounds bloody fantastic. That's not all this does. Again, now I'm going to exchange my memory card with another that I have. Go back to the PSP menu. And I'm going to boot up Nestor J here. Nestor J is an NES emulator for the PSP. In fact, there's a whole range of PSP emulators. So if you have your PSP modded, a PSP can be used to run any number of retro games through emulation. And just as with the official PS3 game or PSP games, games that are on the in this format run absolutely perfect. This is running off of the PSP. And of course, because this is emulation, I can do all kinds of things, such as change the color palette. Let's see, how do you do that? A graphics config here. No. Preferences. I think that's it. No. No, I don't remember how to do this. Graphics config? Yes, that is it. Different palette. But I don't like that palette, so I'm going to go back to the Nestor J. Let's go back, exit the emulator here, and let's just quickly show you another emulator that it has, or that I have here. How about the Race here? Race is an emulator for my favorite handheld outside of the PSP, of course. This is for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Man, do I love this thing. So the game I'm going to run here is one of my favorites for the system, and I think one of the best Sonic games ever. Here's Sonic Pocket Adventure. Sonic Pocket Adventure is like a remix of old Sonic stages from the Genesis games in this quirky 8-bit title that is way better than any of the Master System games that Sega produced themselves. I guess that's because of the power of the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Too bad the PSP itself doesn't have the awesome click stick of the Neo Geo Pocket Color, but it does have something that's kind of neat. Say I make a mistake here. I can rewind. Do that as often as I want, or whatever. Alright, let's show you one more emulator. Just because why not, right? How about Game Boy Advance? Use this one right here. GBA emulation on the PSP is a little bit iffy. Some of them work great, others don't work so well. Here's a game that does work great. How about... I don't know, let's see. No, I own all these games. I have a huge library of GBA games. The emulation is just mainly for convenience sake. How about Castlevania Aria of Sorrow here? Whoops, always press the wrong button. Some of these emulators are made by Asian dudes who follow the Japanese standard where the circle button is the confirm, and others make the X button the confirm, so going from emulator to emulator sometimes it's a little bit confusing. So how about Castlevania Aria of Sorrow? Easily one of the best GBA games out there. So let's just do a quick demo of this game for a minute. And there you have it. GBA games running on the PSP, running in HDMI on an HD TV. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.